It's my time to spend more time with the defense and let the offensive coordinator call the reps during practice and talk to the quarterback. And it's good for me, again, to get to know the defense players better, sit in those meetings, not devote all the time and energy in the offense, and take more of a head coaching role.
Joe Burrow is throwing to the third receiver, the fourth receiver, the fifth receiver, right? And your third receiver, he just really left. Yep, Tyler Boyd, he's now with Tennessee. So you throwing to all new dudes, it sounds like. Wait, the running back, Joe Mixon. Oh, wait, he is going. Hell yeah, it's a big deal.
Welcome on in, Cincinnati faithful, Who Dey Nation. We are going to go into a brief update on what I'm seeing in OTAs, the information we're getting out in OTAs, and then we're also going to talk about these clowns talking about how Jamarr Chase and T. Higgins are not at OTAs. I got receipts for you guys, and then we're going to talk about what does this whole situation with Zach Taylor allowing Dan Pitcher, the offensive coordinator, to really take a hold of the offense. And he is quoted saying, hey, I'm going to take a step back and let the offensive coordinator mesh in with these offensive players. And I think there's a bigger reason to it, but we'll get to that later. First, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I want to also push something out. The beginning of the season next year, I will be, after every single Bengals game, be in a Bengals Discord so we can talk ball, talk what happened, talk what made you happy, talk what pissed you off. It's going to be conducive. It's going to be healthy and encouraging. Let me know if you guys want to be a part of that. And if you do want some of your comments and questions that you guys have be brought to the light in these videos, go ahead and put RFF Bengals and then put in your question or your comment, and we'll get things pushed up and started that way. LaShawn McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, and then James Jones, who is a Packers receiver who I actually have legitimate respect for. These guys act like they've never been in the National Football League. And they act like they're just, they're pretty much being like low-key snakes in starting drama. And this is the sad part about their job. It's like they got to dig for information. They got to dig for stories. They got to dig for BS. All of this bull crap going around saying, T. Higgins, he's not at OTAs, and Jamar's not at OTAs. This is a big deal. This is a huge issue. This is something that's going to hurt us, blah, 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 blah. Why aren't they talking about Stephon Diggs not being at OTAs? Are the Texans done? This loving, beautiful young, are they done? What about Devontae Adams not going to OTAs? Are the Raiders already done? They got a new quarterback and a young quarterback. Devontae should be out there. This is LaShawn McCoy. Remember in 2013 with the Philadelphia Eagles, you didn't go to OTAs? And your team went 10-6? You were an all-pro that year? What about in 2017 when you didn't go to OTAs with the Buffalo Bills? You didn't do that one either. And you guys ended up breaking a 25-year curse of not going to the playoffs, something like that. And you guys went to the playoffs and you got your ass whooped. But hey, you skipped OTAs and something good came of it. How do I want to start this? I want to start this with, holy moly, am I not absolutely happy that Joe Burrow is throwing to the young receivers? Like, how are these people on the news and on media and not saying this? I love that Joe Burrow is making connections with Jermaine Burton. I love that he's making connections with Mike Gesicki. I love that he's making connections with Charlie Jones. Like, what is happening in real life? Do they not know that T. Higgins is gonna probably miss a few games due to a lower body extremity injury or his ribs being messed up? This is the reason why he hasn't gotten his deal yet. He's hurt. We know Jamarr Chase. He's very explosive. He's very strong. There are a few games every now and then that he will not be available. And also, it's only two receivers. They are not going to be playing every single snap. And how ridiculous would it be that, I just think this is a beautiful thing, but how ridiculous would it be for us to have Jamarr Chase, T. Higgins, two number one, alphas of the receiving core. They already know what's up. They already know what they're doing, and they're stealing snaps from these younger players. We don't have just new guys. We have younger new guys. They need to understand how things flow with Joe Burrow. Yeah, maybe there is a little bit of veteran, leadership that I would have liked from Jamar or T, but Trent Irwin's there. They're going to get that veteran leadership from him for sure. And everybody knows the game. I forget our wide receivers coach, but he is a very tough dude and he understands the game. So I hate this thing being pushed out there. It's so annoying and it's so gross. And so and they also said, guys, you probably should go watch that whole video, that whole segment of how they were just talking out of their ass That's all they were doing. And I get it. I do it for some other team videos. I get it. I talk out of my ass a little bit. But theirs is crazy. Theirs is absolutely nuts. Like, think about it this way. Jamar Chase was a freshman when Joe Burrow got to LSU. Right? They had their season. They did what they did. Jamar's sophomore year, they win a national championship. Joe goes to the NFL. Jamar doesn't play for a whole season. Whole season. Got picked at number 5, won Rookie of the Year. Does he have to be at OTAs? Huh, LaShawn? Does he really need to be at OTAs? I want him there, of course. But he and Joe Burrow, Jamar and Joe Burrow, they have their connection on lock. They're good, bro. And then T and Joe have been linked up ever since they both got drafted in the same draft. Like, the connection is good. The connection is fine. They'll get their connection. The things will come training camp. They'll be fine. I just hate it. It's disgusting. It's so gross. And I love that you're seeing more velocity come out of Joe Burrow's arms. He's everything looks healthy. He looks great. We'll talk about that injury for just a little bit. He looks awesome. Every clip that I've seen, every quote that has come out has been very positive. Chase Brown has said, you've seen him out there. He looks good. Everything's been positive. I know you guys have all seen the videos. And so I don't know, man. I don't want to be that guy that's like, ooh, they're always picking on us, but it's just so weird. It's just distasteful. It's very distasteful, but I love everything that's happening. But we got to talk about how Zach Taylor is kind of like relieving his responsibilities as controller of the offense right now. I personally think this is nothing big to worry about. I don't know if any of you are thinking like, hey, the offense is going to change, or like, hey, he's not going to call the plays. Just slow down, pull the brakes on that. I don't think that's what that is. That was my initial guess. My perspective was like, oh shit, is Zach Taylor really going to, is he really going to give up, play calling duties? And he won't, he this is his offense. He believes in the offense. But this is a great time for Dan Pitcher and Joe Burrow to have their relationship, not as quarterback coach and football player, but now as offensive coordinator and football player. It's a different dynamic, different conversations, different things going into the game plan. And then you have to understand, like, Dan Pitcher, who was just a quarterback coach, is now an offensive coordinator. So now he's picking in the litter more with Charlie Jones, and picking the litter more with Chase Brown, and picking the litter more with Jermaine Burton. And Mike Gesicki. Like, he's all up in there. Eric Arl, our rookie tight end out of Iowa, which I want to note this. Guys, you saw Sam Laporta last year, an Iowa tight end, a dog, and a guy who wasn't really being, hunted after in the draft process. I think he was like the 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th tight end on the most boards. And then, George Kittle, he's an Iowa tight end. I just want to put it up in the air. We got an Iowa tight end, and I like it. I'm happy about it. We move on. I think there is something bigger brewing in Cincinnati. Even if you take the things that we did well on offense last year, even our big games, the big points, the big yards, our defense screwed us. We had like the 31st worst defense in the league. Our defense was so terrible. I think this is like a Zach Taylor, hey, let's fix this shit. I really think that's what it is. I think that's why, hey, why would Zach Taylor, why would I be smothering the offense when our offense is good and we have Dan Pitcher? And I don't know if you guys have seen Dan Pitcher. He's like I'm not going to say he's on the spectrum, but he is all football. All football. He is locked in. Him and Joe Burrow, it just makes a lot of sense that they're both locked in. So it's like Zach Taylor's like, yeah, our defense was the issue last year. Let me spend some time over there. Let me figure out why we're just getting crushed and crucified on 3rd and 15s and 3rd and 18s and having these very embarrassing attempts of stopping the run game. Let me go over there. And Lou, I love you, Lou. I love you. I love you. But if we have the 31st ranked defense again, you gotta go. And I think this is Zach Taylor's very nice, mature, they're friends, they're brothers. Hey, let's both work on the defense this upcoming season. Let's figure out what the issues are. Let's figure things out together with this defense. I think that's what it is, because Lou, I don't want to fire you. That's what the Zach Taylor, Lou Anarumo, and even more all, it's like, hey, Lou, I want you to get a head coaching job somewhere as well. I don't think Lou wants a head coaching job. He kind of always brushes it aside. I don't think he really wants one, but if I'm going to have you here in this building, our defense has to be locked in. I'm going to go give the offense to Dan, and I'm going to help you guys out on defense and see where I can, mesh in. And he wants to know the players. He wants to get to know their strengths and their weaknesses and be more in depth in that department. I love this move. I love where our team is headed. I just need my Joe to be healthy. I need Joe Burrow to remain and stay healthy because, guys, I've been telling all my friends, all my homies, I think this is going to be the year. I do. And I get chills every time I think about it, every time I talk about it. But this, every single time it's been like, yeah, we could. I mean, except for after in the second year, it wasn't that, but they gave it to us to where it's like, I think we can do it, dude. I really think we can do it. Who's going to stop us? Like, actually, consistently. I'm really locked in. I know, like, there's the Chiefs. I get it. We're going to lose both games to the Browns. We already know that. But come postseason, we got our defense playing at a top 15 level at least. And if they want to give us something special like we did on that Super Bowl run, like we had during that Super Bowl run, our offense is going to be top 10. I already feel that. Our offensive line, as long as they keep Joe upright, where's the flaw? I mean, Evan McPherson, I don't think he had the greatest year last year. Maybe he can get things back going, save us out of a few games again. Guys, I'm excited. I need everything to kind of mesh once again. LaShawn McCoy, shut up. You compared Kenny Pickett to Joe Burrow, right? This is the guy that compared Kenny Pickett to Joe Burrow. Shut the hell up. Hit subscribe.